All right. Hope y'all can hear me pretty good. Hope y'all can hear me pretty good. It's your boy Zillionaire. Y'all know the truth speaker, the guy that pisses everybody off. I'm going to give people a few minutes to come into the show. Then we're going to get right into it. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Um, Make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Now, before I play the video, um, before I play this video, I want y'all to hear how Jada Pinkett Smith, they call it, what you call it? Polyamorous, right? I want y'all to listen how Jada Pinkett, um, I want y'all to hear what Jada Pinkett got to say. I want y'all to listen to it. They live a polyamorous life, which basically is a replacement word for being a slut and a whore. Let's listen.
Do you believe in monogamy? Being with one person romantically and sexually till death do us part, honey? For many younger people, like Willow, answer is no. Instead, they are choosing polyamory, which means having multiple emotional and romantic partners at the same time.
Now, having multiple partners at the same time, I don't care if you're a man and a woman, you're a whore. Polyamorous is just another name. It's just a nice way of saying I want to be a whore. That's it. I just want to be a whore. Like, just call it what it is. I want to be a whore. I want to live a polyamorous life, and I want to be a slut and a whore. Now, see, you know your girl Willow, she watched her mother be a slut. She watched her father be a slut. So now she wants to be a slut. Let's listen to this.
Do you believe in monogamy? Being with one person romantically and sexually till death do us part, honey? For many younger people, like Willow, answer is no. Instead, they are choosing polyamory, which means having multiple emotional and romantic partners at the same time.
Being a whore, that's all it is, polyamorous. Just, I want to be a whore. That's what it is. I want to sleep with a bunch of people. I want to slut around with everybody. That's what I want to do. Just call it what it is.
This has been a journey for you, Miss Willow. How did you make this decision?
With polyamory, I feel like the main foundation is the
Watch how Willow justifies being a whore.
freedom to be able to create a relationship style that works for you and not just stepping into monogamy because that's what everyone around you says is the right thing to do.
Right.
So I was like, how can I structure the way that I approach relationships with that in mind?
Yeah.
Also, doing research into polyamory, the main reasons why monogamous relationships or why marriage, why divorces happen is infidelity.
Yeah. For somebody like me, it feels like it's really all just centered around
I mean, I'll give
sex.
you an example.
Now, Grandma breaking it down. She said, hold on, it just sound like you just want to have sex with everybody. Because that's exactly what it is, Grandma. They just want to mess around with everybody. Just call it what it is. You want to be a whore, be a whore. Why do we have to nicen it up? Why we got to nicen it up? Be a slut. I want to be a slut. They call it polyamorous. No, you want to be a whore. So watching her mother be a slut and be a whore. Now Willow, she wants to be a slut and a whore. I tell you, boy. Let's listen to the rest, how they justify being a whore and having multiple partners. Go ahead, take it away. But Grandma, I'm like, hold on. This sounds like y'all just want to have sex with everybody. Check it out. Now watch how Willow tries to sound all intelligent. Willow tried to sound all intelligent. You just being a whore. That's all. You just a nice way of putting it. I want to be a whore.
The way that I approach relationships with that in mind.
Yeah.
Also, doing research into polyamory, the main reasons why monogamous relationships or why marriage, why divorces happen is infidelity.
Yeah. For somebody like me, it feels like it's really all just centered around
I mean, I'll give
sex.
you an example.
Grandma said, it sounds like y'all just talking about, y'all just want to mess around. Come on now. She like, it just sounds like you just want to sleep with multiple people. Exactly.
example, let's say you haven't always been the kind of person that wanted to have sex all the time, but your partner is.
Right.
Are you going to be the person to say, you know, just because I don't have these needs, you can't have them either?
Right.
And so that's kind of one of the reasons why.
Now, you just made your grandmom's point. Listen to this. I'm gonna listen to this. Grandmom said it's all centered around sex. She turns around and says, "No, but how come I can have these needs, but that person, if they want to have sex all the time, or they don't want to have sex, and I want to have sex all the time, how come I can't mess around?" You just proved her point. But people ain't listening.
Say, you know, just because I don't have these needs, you can't have them either.
And go to grandmom's point. That's what she's talking about. It's about sex.
Right.
And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I actually was interested in poly, because I was introduced to it through kind of a non-sexual lens.
Right. Okay.
In my friend group, I'm the only polyamorous person, and I have the least sex.
Now she just contradicted herself. Now you just contradicted yourself, Willow. Your grandmom said everything is centered around sex. And then you turn around and say, yeah, but it's not fair that this person doesn't want to have sex like that. But if I want to have sex all the time, it's not fair to me. Then she turned around and say, I was introduced to polyamory in a non-sexual way. There is no way in hell you could be introduced to polyamory lifestyle or polyamorous lifestyle without it being sexual. That's what it's about. Having multiple sex partners. You cannot be introduced to that without mentioning sex. Stupid. What's up, Yvette?
Out of all of my friends. So how did you feel when I told you that I was polyamorous?
When you were like, hey, this is my get down, I was like, I totally get it. Wanting to set up your life.
Of course you totally get it, Jada. You like to mess around too. I know you get it. She learned it from you. Your promiscuous life, Jada. Your promiscuous life, Jada. It made Willow want to mess around and be a little slut. Willow, like, I got a little slut in me too. Willow, like, I got a little whore in me too. I want to get my little whore out, you know? But Willow want to feel good about being a whore, you know? She want to feel good about being a slut, that's all. I just want to feel good about being a slut, you know? Let's listen to the rest of this.
Life in a way that you can have what it is that you want. I think anything goes as long as the intentions are clear. And you know what I mean?
To everyone involved, and to yourself.
Really more to yourself.
Of course, Jada, we know you agree with that lifestyle. We know you do, Jada. Somebody said, I love how the whole episode tried to convince us it's okay to be a hoe. That's the whole point of it. It was trying to put being a whore in a nice way. You're just being a whore. That's what it is. Whether you're male or female. If you enter into polyamorous relationships, you're being a slut. Multiple sex partners. That's what it is. You can't get around the sex part. But this is a nice way of being a whore. Because you know in society you have to be politically correct. In society, you can't just tell it how it is, you know? You can't just tell it how it is. You can't just say, you just want to be a whore. Okay, you want to be a polyamorous. That's just a nice way of saying, I want to whore around. Let's listen to how they justify it and make it. And look how Jada Pinkett is going to make Willow feel good. Go ahead, baby, be a whore. Go ahead, baby. You want to be a slut? Go ahead and be a slut. But grandma, she don't like it. She from the old school. She don't like this WAP generation, this whore generation. She don't like it. Now I don't blame her.
Than anything, right? And I
look at her face. She trying to look. Yo, Willow selling this shit. Oh shit! Look how Willow is selling it, boy. Willow is selling it. I gotta give it to her though. Willow is doing the emotional stuff. Willow is, oh man, she's good at selling it. Willow, you need to do more acting roles.
As the intentions are clear. And you know what I mean?
To everyone involved, and to yourself.
Really more to yourself than anything, right? And
look at her face. Yeah. Trying to act. Yo, this is hilarious, man. She trying to sell this polyamorous crap. She trying to sell it. Yeah, because that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. Let's listen to how they sell being a slut. Go ahead, Jada.
And I know that
Go ahead, Jada and Willow.
there's a lot of beauty.
Look, the mama, she don't like it. She uncomfortable with this shit. She like, damn, my grandma about to, she like, damn, she like, damn, my granddaughter about to be a whore. Grandma, you could, through the whole thing, grandma's face was uneasy. She did not like the idea. You could see it on her face like, damn, my granddaughter about to be a slut. And she going public with it. So the reason why Willow is going public with it, so when you hear about her messing around, they're going to be like, well, she was already on Red Table Talk. We already know Willow has multiple sex partners. She's trying to get out. See, Willow's trying to get out in front of it before the headlines come, before her partners expose her, and all this other stuff. So Willow's smart enough, I got to get out in front of this because they're going to start questioning my sexual behavior. We all know what Jada do. Jada like to mess around. That's what Jada do. Jada's a freak. And her daughter's like, I want to be a little freak too, just like my mama. I tell you, boy, don't these girls learn from their mama? Go ahead, Willow. You learned that from your mama. But grandma, she don't come from this era. And I ain't gonna lie, her mother looked good. I'm not gonna lie. Her mother looks good. For her age, she looks good. But anyway, where's my phone at? But anyway, let's listen to this.
Beauty that sits outside of the conventional boxes. Let's not negate just the simple, because there are people that still enjoy marriage as it is today.
100%.
Yes, I happen to enjoy being married, even though I've been married several times.
And she like, grandma, I'm like, hold up. Hold up. Grandma like, hold up now. Y'all keep talking about all this polyamorous crap, messing around and being a whore. What's wrong with not being a whore? Grandma said, I didn't grow up in this whore generation. This is whore culture, y'all. Now, see, Jada Pinkett and Willow, they know they have to be a whore at a different standard. See, they slut, they're whores at another level whore. You know, like Kim Kardashian, it's different levels, it's different standards of whoredom. They can't be the bottom level whores. They got to be, we're the top level sluts. We got to be top level whores. So let's get out and get this whore stuff out, put the polyamorous tag on it to make it sound like it's okay to be a whore. And Jada don't mind because she's like, well, my daughter, she's going to be just like me. Willow going to be slutting around just like her mama, swinging and having sex partners. I tell you, boy.
I've been through.
We don't want nothing wrong with that.
This isn't about changing a paradigm that works for people.
Exactly.
This isn't about that.
It's about being able to have the freedom to create a relationship for yourself.
I'm good. Then.
It's almost like you're
look at grandma. Grandma don't like this shit. Grandma don't like my daughter and my granddaughter's a whore. Look at grandma. Grandma like, oh, damn it. I thought I could save my granddaughter. I know my daughter's a little slut and she like to swing. But damn, Jada, you done got my granddaughter involved in this shit. Look at grandma. She, I don't come from this slut WAP era. She don't come from the WAP era. She don't come from the selling pussy and being a whore era. So grandmama don't like it. She don't like this shit. I don't blame her.
You're born.
She look at grandma. Grandma like, huh.
About changing a paradigm that works for people.
Exactly.
This isn't about that.
It's about being able to have the freedom to create a relationship for yourself.
I'm good. Then.
It's almost like you're born.
She like, I'm good. Yes, it's the ugly truth. Yes, I'm not gonna. Yeah, exactly. I'm speaking up but the truth here. Grandma's like, damn, Jada, I know you a whore. Mama like, Jada, look, I accepted you being a slut, but damn, now you got my granddaughter wanting to be a slut. Grandma
You
pissed.
go to school, you go to college, you get
You get
married, you have kids, you have to pick a fence. But a lot of people have done that and felt unfulfilled in their lives.
Right. But I also think you have to be careful in these particular dynamics because they can be a little distracting. Meaning,
You have to be careful in monogamy too. That
You
can be
do.
distracting as
No,
well.
but here's the difference between monogamous relationships.
Yes.
When you have those monogamous boundaries, you're actually forced to have to just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Just take a minute, just listen to what I'm saying. When you have those boundaries that are put in and you aren't giving yourselves the...
I ain't gonna lie, Jada Pinkett mom look good. She almost 70 years old, y'all. God damn, this is what 70-year-old women look like?
Because they could too...
Be careful in monogamy and felt unfulfilled in their lives.
Right. Here's the difference between monogamous relationships.
Yes.
God damn.
When you have those monogamous boundaries, you're actually forced to have to just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Just take a minute, just listen to what I'm saying. When you have those boundaries that are put in and you aren't...
Grandma, if grandmoms is looking like this nowadays, god damn. I gotta stop the show for a minute. This woman is almost 70 years old. God, what? Grandmom can get it. For all the men in the comment section, just put grandmom can get it. Let's tell it how it is. I gotta stop the show for 1 minute. Damn, Jada Pinkett, your mama might got you. Damn, this is your mom? I gotta stop the show. If grandmoms is looking like this, damn. All the fellas, please drop GMOM or get it. If grandmamas is looking like this, she's almost 70, dog. What? Golly, boy. Grandmom can get it. I tell you, boy. This is what grandma, she looking better than this thought coat, these nasty looking young thought whores. These nasty looking, see, this is when you live a life where you keep yourself. This is where you live. When you get to be almost 70 and you know, look how these young girls look nowadays. They on Molly, they on drugs, they ran through, their bodies falling apart. Look how this is grandma? Jesus. Don't lie, fellas. I know y'all don't want to admit it in the comment section. Y'all in the bushes watching, but you know grandmama look good. Stop lying. Y'all don't want to admit it. I don't care. Don't act like you wouldn't do this grandma right here. If grandma threw it on you, don't act like you wouldn't smash granny. If some of y'all trying to front. She right. I bet you she look way better than a lot of them chicks in your neighborhood. I bet you Jada Pinkett mama look better than them nasty hood rats in your neighborhood. This is a fine granny right there. I just had to stop the show for 1 minute and give a shout out to this fine ass grandmom right here. Jesus Christ. She look better than a lot of these young women. I'm talking about in their 20s. I ain't never seen a 70-year-old woman, a woman that's almost 70 years old, look better than females that's in their 20s nowadays. That tells you something. Tells you something.
Giving yourselves the opportunity to go...
How do her and her daughter, man, that's crazy.
Call Jane or to go call Robert when things aren't going well within your... Right.
Did you hear what Jada just said? That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. You should be able to call Jane and call Robert. Why, if you have a problem in your relationship, how about you just work it out with the person you having a problem with? You should be able to call somebody. Why? I mean, there's nothing wrong with talking to, but why you have to have this other alternative? In other words, when a relationship ain't working out, run from it. Go get your sex on with somebody else. That's what Jada is saying. That's what she's saying. Listen to it again.
Between monogamous relationships.
Yes.
When you have those monogamous boundaries, you're actually forced to have to just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Just take a minute, just listen to what I'm saying. When you have those boundaries that are put in and you aren't giving yourself the opportunity to go call Jane or to go call Robert when things aren't going well within your in your relationship.
What?
Right?
Call Jane.
When you have those boundaries.
So listen to what Jada is saying. When you having a problem in your relationship, you should call your side pieces. Jada is a trip, boy. Y'all, Grandma, I'm like, damn, y'all some whores. There's some hoes in this house. There's some hoes in this house. This is the WAP generation. But see, these your top level sluts.
Relationships.
Yes.
When you have those monogamous boundaries, you're actually forced to have to just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Just take a minute, just listen to what I'm saying. When you have those boundaries that are put in and you aren't giving yourselves the opportunity to go call Jane.
Yo, Jada had to catch herself. Yo, check it out. Jada had to catch herself. She almost said, go fuck around. Pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. Y'all know Zillionaire, I like to pay attention to stuff. She almost slipped up. Pay attention to what Jada said. Jada, you a freak.
Aren't giving yourselves the opportunity to go call Jane.
Yeah, you better slip. She had to catch that one. She almost let one out.
Or to go call Robert.
Call Jane and Robert when y'all having problems in y'all relationship, y'all. That's Jada Pinkett's advice. The one that likes to mess around. That's Jada Pinkett's advice. Go ahead and mess around. She said, call Robert and Jane. We know what kind of party you be having, Jada. Jesus Christ. Jada said, call Robert and Jane. Jada, you a freak.
Call Jane or to go call Robert.
When you having problems, call Jane and call Robert. Jada, you a nasty old MILF, and you a nasty MILF.
When things aren't going well within your in your relationship, right? It makes you have to confront and look at things in a different manner,
100%.
No, okay, now did you hear what she just said? What Jada said made absolutely no sense. No sense. She was afraid to say what she really wanted to say. Now, this was stupid. She said, when you're in a monogamous relationship, it doesn't afford you the opportunity to talk to Jane and to talk to Robert. What?
You're in your relationship, right?
She said, then you're forced to confront the problems in your relationship. That's what a relationship is. It's work. It's work. Relationships ain't easy, bruh. You got to know how to make a relationship fun. You got to have fun with the person you're with. You got to always make it fun. Always be exciting. Always challenging each other. That's how you do it. You can't allow the relationship to get dull. You can't allow the relationship to get dead. You can't let that happen. So she almost slipped up and said, go out and mess around.
To go call Jane or to go call Robert when things aren't going well within your in your relationship, right? It makes you have to confront and look at things in a different manner.
Yeah, it makes you have to confront the problems in your own relationship, Jada. So that's not making sense. You have to confront your own problems in a relationship. So if you can always have an outlet, why be in a relationship? I'm confused. Why don't you just fuck around? Why get married? Just fuck around. I don't understand that. She said when it gets tough in your relationship, when you having problems, you should be able to call Jane and Robert. Because when you don't have that opportunity or that outlet, it forces you to confront the person you're with. Exactly. This was just stupid. This was a dumbass analogy. I'm sorry. I love Jada. I love Will Smith. I love this family. I ain't gonna lie. Will Smith is from Philly. He went to Overbrook High School. He graduated years before I did. I went to Overbrook High School. Overbrook High School in Philly is a famous high school. Wilt Chamberlain went there. I love Will Smith and the Smith family. But this shit right here, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Will, but I'm sorry, I gotta call this out. I'm sorry, but this shit right here, bro, is stupid. You're justifying being a whore. Grandma's wearing a whole lot of, no, she's not. No, grandma don't wear a lot of makeup. I've seen a lot of pictures with her plain face. She still look good. I don't know what you're talking about. She don't have a lot of makeup on. She may got a little touch up here and there. She's a fine woman. I can show you pictures of her plain face. She got a whole lot of makeup on. No, she's not. She looks good plain face or with her face touched up.
100%.
So all I'm saying is that in these kinds of dynamics, in just being careful that we're not trying to dodge the raindrops.
There's comfort in that it provides to almost like a social order.
Yes.
To life and setting boundaries and commitments.
Now, grandma she don't like the idea, but she don't want to just call them out on her show. She don't want to just call them out, so she's trying to be understanding of their sexual choices. Now, I can say this. You don't have to like somebody's preference. I don't think it's nothing. I don't have to like what you like. But I can understand where you're coming from. I don't have to agree with it. So grandma, she don't agree with it, but she understands their choice and what they're trying to do. So I get what grandma's trying to do here. She don't agree with it, but she's trying to say, well, okay, I get where you're coming from, even though I don't agree with the choice. That's understandable.
Most people are practicing monogamy because they feel like they have no other choice.
Right.
We all know that most people out here doing unethical non-monogamy any damn way.
That's the reason. That's the whole. You know.
That's called cheating, y'all.
Yeah.
Have no other choice.
Right.
We all know that most people out here doing unethical non-monogamy any damn way.
That's the reason. That's the whole. You know.
That's called cheating, y'all.
Yeah. That's.
Most people's out here just acting a fool.
Numbers add up with all these statistics at once.
All right, now that's her excuse, I guess. We all have thoughts, Jada. So you're supposed to act on these thoughts we have, right? Isn't that why God gave us discipline? Just because you have a thought, you find somebody attractive, that means go have sex with them. Because you got an urge to step out, that means we're supposed to do it. That doesn't make, I just don't understand that part. Because you have an urge to cheat, you just go ahead and do it because we think in it. We think a lot of things of humans. We have this curse on us called the flesh. We have the sin nature. We think of a lot of things to do. That don't mean we got to do it because we think it. But when it comes to sex, I guess it doesn't matter, huh, Jada? I love y'all the same, but I got to call it how I see it, Jada. I love y'all the same, but I got to call it on y'all. Y'all want an excuse to be a whore. Y'all want an excuse to be a slut. Polyamory is just another word for having a whorish lifestyle. That's it. That's all it is. It's an excuse to be whores. That's it. That's all this is, y'all. That's it. And if you choose that lifestyle, do your thing. I just don't like the fact that how they're trying to butter it up to make being a slut sound good. Because in our society, you have to be politically correct. You can't offend nobody by speaking the truth. Nowadays, the truth is not tolerated. Because every time you speak the truth, it's offensive. It's offensive to speak. Nowadays, everything's so touchy. Feel you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do this. It's so touchy. Polyamory is just being a slut and a whore. That's all it is. Period. Whether you're male or female. If you live a polyamorous life, you're a whore. If I decide to live a polyamorous life, that means I'm a male whore. I'm just calling it what it is. I decide to be a male whore. That's my choice. That's my choice. I'm just a male whore. I like to have sex with a lot of women. Just call it what it is. That's just a nice way of saying I want to be a whore. Multiple sex partners. Okay.
We're not trying to dodge the raindrops.
There's comfort in that.
Let me go back to the beginning. I'm going to play this again. And I got another show to do in about a half hour.
Do you believe in monogamy? Being with one person romantically and sexually till death do us part, honey. For many younger people, like Willow, answer is no. Instead, they are choosing polyamory, which means having multiple emotional and romantic partners at the same time. This has been a journey for you, Miss Willow. How did you make this decision?
Somebody said, I gotta read this one. Somebody said Jada already know what's going on. Jada's not a good parent. Jada, hell, turned Will out with the open marriage. You probably got a point. I think I might agree with that. You might be right with that one. You might be right. Because Jada's a freak. Because hold on, let me tell you something. You know how I know that's true? Even before, do y'all know before Jada married Will, Jada said she was a whore. I don't know if y'all know this. Before Jada married Will, Jada used to sleep around. I don't know if y'all know that. And Will told her, you don't have to live, you don't have to sleep around like, you don't have to be a whore, you're beautiful, you're this and that. So Will slowed her down for a minute, and then she kind of let him know, like, I want to step out. So Jada has always slept around. And like I say, I love Jada to death. I love Jada. I like Jada Pinkett. But she likes being a slut. She likes being a whore. Like, she was a slut before she met, I don't know if y'all knew that. She was a slut before she met Will Smith. You can look it up. Go look it up on YouTube where she talks about how Will Smith slowed her down. Like, Jada been a slut. She been whoring around. So you're right. I agree with this, Key Boswell. She already knew what was going on, and she probably did turn Will Smith out. Because Will Smith tried to take the slut out of her. See, Will Smith tried to turn her into a housewife. And after a while, Jada, she was like, look, listen, I was fucking around before I met you, Will Smith. I need to mess around. That's just who I am. That's just who Jada Smith is. She liked to mess around. That's who she is. That's who she was when she met Will Smith. Y'all go look up the story and you're going to find out, damn, Zillionaire, he right. Jada Smith was a slut when Will Smith met her. She was sleeping around. This is a fact. So she brought the whoredom into the family. So she brought that whoredom in there. So Will Smith tried to turn a hoe into a housewife. Will Smith, hey, you couldn't turn her into a housewife. I mean, no, she's not a housewife. Because they got nannies and maids, they billionaire. They got nannies and maids. But, it's basically, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett is like homeboys and homegirls that fuck. I'm going to say this again. Jada and Will are like a homeboy and a homegirl that got married and like to mess around. They're like a homeboy and homegirl. It never really seemed like a marriage to me. I know they're married, but it never felt like a marriage. Hello, somebody. I know that they're married, but I never felt like it was a marriage. So they cool with each other. Like, we cool, and they fuck around. We mess around on each other, but we cool, we married, and we cool. It's like friends that got married, have kids, and they find out, you know what? We better off just being homeboy and homegirl. But sometimes homeboy and homegirl, sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. Because sometimes people do marry their best friend, and sometimes that's a good thing. But Will Smith, he knew what he was getting into when he dealt with Jada. This is not a surprise. That's why Will Smith is still with her. That's why Will Smith is still with her. So, this is a fact. But she was a slut before all this went down. Somebody said, I wish I had some cash to support your channel. I'm glad that you're so positive when it comes to where our women today are falling. Yeah, I mean, it's a fact. It's a fact. So you can't justify this stuff. I know we have a sin nature, but that don't mean we have to act on everything we think. Can you imagine, especially us men and even women, can you imagine us men and women if we acted on everything we thought when it came to the opposite sex? Can you imagine if everybody just acted on what they thought when they came into a person that they were attracted to or that they liked? Can you imagine if we reacted to our flesh nature? Everybody be messing, everybody be pregnant by everybody. It just be one big mess. But those that don't want to exercise restraint, like Jada Smith, like Jada Pinkett, she don't want to be restrained. And now her daughter's like, I want to be like my mama. And I keep telling y'all, these young girls want to be just like their mothers. I'm telling y'all, these young girls look up to their mothers. They look up to her. Willow want to be like her mom. That's why she want to have multiple sex partners, because her mother makes it look like being a slut or having multiple sex partners is fun. Of course, it's fun to the flesh. Yes. Sleeping around is fun to the flesh. Yes, it is. Let's just tell it how it is now. Whether you a God-fearing person or not, sleeping around, of course, is fun. Having new sex with different, of course, is fun to the flesh. But is it good for you? I'm going to say it again. Of course, it's good to the flesh. Which the flesh, you can't satisfy our flesh. You can't satisfy the flesh. You can't, it's insatiable. You cannot satisfy your flesh. It's insatiable. Your flesh is like a tapeworm. It never gets enough. Okay? So just imagine when you don't practice that restraint. If we act on every sexual thought we have when it comes to the opposite sex, when it comes to women, and when y'all have those thoughts towards men, can you imagine how the world would be? Can you imagine? The world would just be one big orgy. The world would just be one big orgy. And I think some people would like that. That would be so unhealthy. But to each his own. Hey.
With polyamory, I feel like
now she done indoctrinated. Jada Pinkett done indoctrinated her daughter. Jada Pinkett done indoctrinated her to the whore life. I tell you, boy, Jada, why you do that? Damn, Jada Pinkett, why you do that to your daughter? You done indoctrinated her into the whore life that you live, Jada. Because remember, Jada, you was a whore before Will Smith. Will Smith tried to slow you down, and we found out Will Smith couldn't slow you down. So you turned out Will Smith. Your daughter look at you like, damn, my mom seems so happy with all these sex partners. I want to try it too. Now, you got this young girl, this young lady, because she's 21 now. 21, yeah, she's 21 now. Now she's curious, and she wants to explore her sexuality, because you know she's young, she's hot, her coochie hot. Her coochie hot, let's just tell it how it is. She in her 20s, her coochie is hot now. She want to get it in. This is a fact. What I'm saying is a fact. Her coochie tingling. Her coochie is throbbing now, and she want to mess around. They're just telling how, y'all remember when y'all was in your early 20s, your late teens and early 20s? You want to explore you had a sexual appetite. So now, Jada, why did you indoctrinate your daughter into the whore life? I tell you, boy, I still love y'all, though.
The main foundation is the freedom to be able to create
the freedom to mess around. Just say what it is, Willow. She keep trying to butter it up. The freedom to create relationships. The freedom to fuck around. Just say it. God damn, people kill me tiptoeing around the truth. Just call it what it is. The freedom to pluck around. It gives you freedom to mess around. Don't say freedoms to create relationships. They're trying to butter up whoredom. They're trying to make whoredom sound good. Why do you think in the Revelations it says that the world is going to be full of whoredom? Do you know they just, in New York, and I'm going to talk about that tomorrow night, because I got a bunch of live shows I'm doing today. You know in New York, they legalizing prostitution. And I'm going to talk about that live tomorrow night. They're legalizing prostitution in New York. And the word of God tells us in the last days that the world system will be the great whore, Babylon. In the word of God, it says the world system will be called Babylon, the great harlot. So that's why I'm not surprised seeing all this glorification of being sluts. this glorification of selling pussy, of sleeping around, this glorification of just open your pussy up to anybody. Get it in. We're living in those days and times, y'all. These are signs. You got the thought culture. You got the wet ass pussy songs that go #1 on the charts. You got these young girls, all they do is talk about sleeping around. You got Jada Pinkett indoctrinating her daughter. Because this is what it is. I don't care what y'all say. This is an indoctrination into a lifestyle. Hello, somebody. Jada Pinkett is indoctrinating her, getting her ready, for her in the entertainment industry and everything else. She's trying to get out in front of it. So when we hear about Willow Smith, because let me tell you, Willow Smith, she gonna do some stuff. Why she about to get caught up into some stuff. So when she get caught up into it, they're gonna be like, well, you know what? We already know Willow Smith sleeps with a lot of people. Oh yeah, she's a polyamorous. So they're trying to get out in front of this. So when we do hear about Willow Smith having orgies and sleeping with a bunch of people, oh yeah, she's into polyamorous. And then we're gonna ignore it like it's okay. Yeah, she's a slut. Yeah, she's a slut. It's a slut lifestyle. It said, talk about California, and they are. It's a whore lifestyle. Like, there's no way around it. I'm your boy Zillionaire. I'll be back. I got another live coming up in a minute. Let me see when I got another live coming up in 1 second. So I'm about to do another live show, y'all. I'm going live all night tonight. So y'all tune in. Y'all get y'all roll up your smoke, get your drink on. I'm about to go live again in a few minutes. So I'm going live all night trying to get out this content to y'all. All right. Before I have to go back to, when they call me to be back in the entertainment industry. So go ahead and, hit that like button, that share, all that other good stuff. You heard me? Straight up. Click that like and all that. All right. I think some of y'all didn't hit the Cash App. Thank y'all. All right, y'all. Come back in a few minutes. Like I say, get your drink, get your smoke, whatever you got to get, your coffee, tea, soda. Come on back at 6 o'clock. I got some more good stuff for you. Jada Pinkett, why are you indoctrinating your daughter into your lifestyle? Damn, Jada Pinkett. Damn, you had to indoctrinate your daughter. I'm out of here, y'all.